Did you grow up as the invisible one in your family? Not necessarily forgotten, but somehow rarely noticed. Maybe there was always someone who needed more attention, like a sibling who may have been struggling, or a parent who was overwhelmed, or there was conflict within the household, or maybe there were problems that always seemed bigger than whatever you were feeling. So you learned not to add to the problems. You stayed quiet. You handled things yourself. You didn't ask for much. And because you weren't causing problems, everyone assumed that you were okay. But being easy to overlook doesn't mean that you didn't need to be seen. Maybe you had feelings that you never talked about, or questions that you never asked, or things that hurt you that nobody even knew were happening. And eventually, being invisible became something that you were good at. And now, even as an adult, you might sit in a room full of people and still feel alone. You might struggle with asking for help. You might minimize your feelings by saying things like, "Oh, I'm okay, it's not that serious," when it really is. You might make yourself smaller so other people can feel comfortable. And sometimes you might feel surprised or even uncomfortable when someone genuinely wants to know how you're doing. Because somewhere along the way, you learn that other people's needs matter more than yours. But they don't. Your feelings are valid and you matter just as much. You were never supposed to disappear just because people were struggling. You deserved attention too. You deserved someone to notice when you got quiet. You deserved someone to ask twice when you said, "I'm fine." And healing the invisible one may mean learning something that feels incredibly uncomfortable. It means learning that you are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have needs. You are allowed to speak before someone asks. And you are allowed to be seen without first having to earn anyone's attention. So, here's something that I want you to sit with. When did you learn that disappearing was easier than being seen? And maybe an even harder question: who could you become if you stopped making yourself invisible? That is what healing looks like. That is what love looks like. And love is the legacy.